Hey everybody, Varun here from Language Academy. Guys, very excited to be back. In this video, we are going to look at repeat sentences. One of the tasks from your speaking module and one of the tasks a lot of students do find difficult. Now, I personally believe, and this is proven as well, that this task is very crucial. Why this is very important? Because this will not only give you points in speaking, but this is going to give you a lot of points in listening as well. So if you're struggling in your speaking or your listening section, you need to watch this video, because what I am going to cover in this video, I'm going to cover the task description, that what all this task is about, marking criteria, 4 strategies that you can use to nail this section, few more things which are very important. One thing I am going to cover at the end of this video is that how do you practice repeat sentences, where you practice it from, and how do you see your score while practicing. So I'm going to give you a tool where you can practice repeat sentences and see your scores in fluency, in your pronunciation, and your content part. Another thing, I'll be showing you at the end that how recently I've taken 7 exams just to try new strategies, new methods, new templates, and how every time I ended up getting 90 in listening. Even when I missed few of my repeat sentences, how I got perfect 90 in listening. So without any further delays, let's get going. Let's have a look at the task description. So as you can see on your screen over here, what happens in this task is that you will get an audio. Audio will contain a sentence. The sentence can be anywhere between 7 to 14 words. It is normally between 7 to 14 words, but there have been cases where students went for the exam and they got even lengthier sentences. So I'll tell you how to tackle those sentences as well. So you'll get an audio, an audio will be played where you'll have a sentence around 14-15 words long at max, and then within 1 second you have to repeat the sentence exactly in the same manner as you hear it. Once your recording starts, you won't get any beep sound. You get beep sound which indicates your recording has started in other parts of your speaking, but in repeat sentences there won't be any kind of beep sound. This is how another thing, yes, you'll have around 8 to 10 repeat sentences. Sometimes you can even have 12 repeat sentences depending on your exam pattern. So anywhere between 8 to 12 repeat sentences in your exam, right? These are few of the things which are covered as the task description of this task. Let's have a look at the marking criteria. Now, as I've told you, in this particular task, you'll get an audio which will have a sentence. The sentence can be up to 14 words long. As soon as the sentence stops, you have to repeat the same sentence in exactly the same manner. Now, how is this task marked? Very important when it comes to the marking criteria. Why it is very important? Because this task will not only give you scores in speaking section, but this is going to give you a lot of points in your listening section. If you have watched my previous videos, I've done a number of experiments. There's one video where I only attempted repeat sentences and I got 32 points in listening. So around 8 to 10 repeat sentences can contribute around 30 points in your listening section. And that can be a game changer, because 30 points are almost 33% of your listening section. So you have to make sure you pay 100% attention when it comes to repeat sentences. So there are basically 3 parameters on which your repeat sentences are marked. The first one is fluency, second one is pronunciation, and third one is content. As I mentioned earlier, repeat sentences are going to give you points both in speaking and listening. Now, how do you get points? 5 points in fluency. It's pretty straightforward. Throughout speaking, I've explained this thing in previous videos as well. Fluency, a lot of times students do confuse this thing with speaking fast. You do not really need to speak fast. You need to speak at a moderate pace. You can speak at your natural pace, but there shouldn't be 3 things. There shouldn't be any kind of pauses, hesitations, and repetitions. You shouldn't self-correct as well. So try to avoid any kind of pauses, hesitations, and no self-corrections, please. You need to speak in a fluent manner, but fluency doesn't really mean that you have to go too fast. You can speak at your natural pace, or you can slightly go faster than your natural pace, but do not go below your natural pace. That can impact your fluency. What is your pronunciation? This thing a lot of students are confused about. What they try to do is they try to imitate the accent. Accent is not important. I always mention this thing in all my videos, that this test is designed to check or to test the English of non-native speakers. I don't have an accent, right? I have a subcontinent accent, but I've got 19 speaking, 19 listening number of times whenever we go for the exam after a month or so, just to see everything is going well. What type of changes are there? I've got number of times 19 speaking and 19 listening, and I don't imitate any accent. You don't really need to do that, but it doesn't really means that the way you are speaking is not clear at all. You need to speak in a clear manner. You should open your mouth properly, speak slightly louder. Why louder? So that see, if I'm talking to a human, right, and if I don't really speak too loud, a human will be able to understand what I'm trying to say. But when it comes to computer, you have to make sure everything is easy for the computer to understand, right? So slightly louder will help you increase your clarity. And because in the same room, when you sit for the exam, you'll have around 10 candidates, so there can be a lot of noise in the background. So if you don't speak that loud, the chance is that whatever the other candidate is speaking, that goes into your microphone. It doesn't really happens, but yes, if you're too slow, that can be the case, right? So make sure you speak slightly louder, don't shout, be very gentle over there. Slightly louder, open your mouth and speak as clear as possible. Do not mumble, do not just keep on speaking in your mouth itself. Open your mouth and speak as clear as possible. Don't worry too much about the accent, all accents are fine. Alright, then we have got our content. And what is content? How is this marked, and why I personally believe content is very important. Now, fluency and pronunciation, as I've told you, this task is going to give you points in speaking and listening. Fluency and pronunciation will give you scores, will give you points in your speaking section. Content part is going to give you points in your listening section. Now, what is content? You get 3 points per repeat sentence in content. You get 3 points per repeat sentence in content. And content part is what is going to go into your listening section. Fluency and pronunciation are going to go in your speaking section, and content part is going to go in your listening section. How is content marked? If you repeat 100% of the sentence in the correct sequence, you get 3 out of 3 in your content. If you repeat more than 50% but less than 100%, 2 out of 3. If you repeat more than 25%, less than 50%, 1 out of 3. If you repeat nothing at all from the sentence, you're going to get 0 on 3. Now, for example, you've got an example over here, right? It is important that you work as a team on this project. If you repeat, it is important that you work as a team. You don't really say the last 3 words. You have repeated 75% of the content over here, and you are going to get 2 points out of 3 in your content. And that is fine. I'm not asking you to not repeat content, but yes, there will be cases. As I told you in the beginning of the video, right? I took the exam. I'll show you the scorecard somewhere here. I'll ask the video editor to put the scorecards here. I've taken the exam 7 times, and let's be very practical. If you get a sentence which is 17 words, 15 words long, no one can repeat it in exactly the same manner. And PT knows this thing as well, right? This test, as I've told you, is designed to check your speaking, right? They're not checking your short-term memory. When I went for the exam, I remember 2 to 3 times or even 4 times, I missed 2 or 3 repeat sentences because they were too fast and they were too lengthy. But what I did in that case, I made sure that my fluency is maintained. I always, whenever I go and do repeat sentences, my primary focus is always on understanding the meaning of the sentence. If you understand the meaning of the sentence, everything is very easy because you know what they're talking about, right? And even if you miss 1 or 2 words, you are able to maintain the fluency and repeat the sentence in your own words as well. Now, I'll clarify this thing again. I'm not telling you to repeat anything or speak in your own words. I am telling you to understand the meaning of the sentence and try to repeat exactly as you have heard it. But in case you are not able to recall it, you need to make sure you maintain your fluency and clarity and repeat as much as content you can. Because practically it is not possible to repeat 15 words, 20 words in a second. No one can do it. Yes, up to 10-12 words, you should be able to repeat it exactly. But if it gets lengthier than that, you need to make sure you maintain your fluency. For example, let's say this is the sentence. It is important that you work as a team on this project. And I don't really remember the last part of it. If I do it this way, it is important that you work as a team on this something, and then I press next. What happens as a result? I don't have the content, right? If you don't remember the content, you won't be able to recall it because you don't have enough time over there. Doesn't matter what happens, you don't have enough time and you won't be able to recall the content if you did not grab it in the first place. What you need to do in that case, just speak it in a fluent manner. If I speak it this way, it is important that you work as a team. What happens? I'll get 5 in fluency, 5 in pronunciation and 2 in content. At least I'm getting 12 out of 13 in this case. Rather than speaking it this way, it is important that you work as a team on this something. What happens as a result? I lose points in my fluency because I stopped in the middle or towards the end to think about the content. And that is one thing you need to avoid. Why you need to avoid that? Because if you do that, you are not going to get any extra points in content. You're still getting 2 out of 3, but you end up losing points in fluency, which is going to impact your speaking score. So please make sure, focus on your content, try to repeat as much as you can, but if you're not able to do it, make sure you maintain your fluency. Alright, let's move on. Yes, few of the tips and strategies before we look at 4 different strategies as I mentioned you in the beginning of the video. Okay, try to concentrate and get as much as content you can from the audio. Once the recording starts, start straight away. As I told you earlier, there will not be any kind of beep sound or chime sound which will indicate that your recording has started. You just need to look at the screen and see when your recording starts. It generally starts around 1 second after your audio has finished. Once your recording starts, you need to start straight away. Once you have finished repeating the sentence, once you are done with your response, do not wait for the recorder to stop by itself. You need to click on the next button ASAP. Why you need to do that? Because if your recording is going on and you do not speak anything, there is going to be a flat tone in your voice or in your recording. And any kind of flat tone represents that the person is not fluent. So make sure there are no flat tones and you click on the next button ASAP. Avoid hesitations, repetitions and long pauses. First and foremost, focus should be on fluency and pronunciation, then on your content, right? As I've told you, content is crucial. Do not neglect the content part. But in order to get your content right, do not mess up your fluency as well. Focus on both things. But yes, if you don't have the content, doesn't matter what happens, you will not be able to recall the content. So what you need to do in that case, just repeat as much as you can in a fluent and clear manner, which I am going to show towards the end of this video. Alright, let's move on. Let's have a look at few of the strategies right now, right? We'll have a look at 4 strategies. The very first strategy, very simple and which works for majority of the students. What you need to do as soon as you get the audio, you need to break it into chunks or different parts and try to understand the meaning of the sentence. As I have mentioned on the screen, make sure you break the sentences into different parts and understand the meaning of the sentence. And once your audio stops and your recording starts, repeat it in the same manner without any kind of unnecessary pauses, but you can take same pauses as the speaker did. Don't take unnecessary pauses, please, right? There shouldn't be too long pauses. Again, but if you are not able to repeat whole of the content, what you need to do in that case? First of all, strategy number 1, break the sentence into different parts. Try to understand the meaning of the sentence and then repeat it. But in case if you're not able to repeat 100% of the content, what you need to do, strategy number 2 will come in handy at this place. Let's have a look at that. In case you're not able to recall the complete sentence, repeat as much as you can in a fluent and clear manner. And if you have very less content, you can just make something by yourself. For example, you only remember it is important. You don't remember rest of the sentence. What do you do? If you have 2 options, right? You can say it is important. It is important. Think about the rest of the content. Mess up your fluency, mess up your content, mess up everything. Or you have this option. It is important that you eat breakfast daily. Now what happens? Now you'll be thinking that what is he even talking about? This was not even the part of the sentence. Yes, I understand. But what happens when you added something by yourself? At least you're getting something in fluency. Your content remains 1/3 and it is still 1/3. But what happens? Your fluency is maintained. Again, I'm not telling you to repeat wrong content, but this will happen. This will happen in 1 or 2 repeat sentences that you won't be able to repeat 100% of it. In that case, if you have understood the meaning, make something out by yourself out of the keywords or the words in the sentence. But if you have zero idea what the audio was, just make up a sentence by yourself so that you do not break your fluency, right? Make sure as soon as you finish your answer, you need to click on the next button. Make sure whatever you repeat, you go in a flow and speak as clear as possible, because if you have not got the content, why we are adding fillers at the end so that our fluency is maintained, so that at least you get points in fluency and in your pronunciation. Alright, so what you need to do in case you're not able to get the content, repeat as much as you can in a clear and fluent manner. If you have almost nothing from the sentence, just make a sentence by yourself. You can just say, and I'm very happy at the end of the sentence. That will impact your listening score. You won't really get 100% in your listening score, but you will not lose points in your speaking score. Remember this thing. So at least we are getting points in speaking. First focus should be on getting the content right. In case you are not able to get the content right, repeat as much as you can in a clear manner so that you get points in speaking. Alright, third strategy, which I recommend to some of the students. It doesn't really work with a lot of students, but in case you're struggling with your repeat sentences, you can try this out. It may work, but if it works, it can do wonders, because you'll be very confident and you won't even miss a single word. This strategy can take some time to blend in. You'll take some time to get used to this strategy, because our brain is not really programmed to write the initial side by side as soon as we get the audio, right? But if you are very good at doing that, you can use this in repeat sentences and write from dictations. What you need to do that in this one, it is called strategy number 3, also our initial strategy. As soon as you get the sentence, as soon as you get the audio, you need to focus on the meaning of the audio. But again, along with that, what you need to do, along with the audio, you need to write first alphabet of each word, so that by the time your audio finishes, you'll have something in front of you, and once your recording starts, you can have a look at the initials and then recall the words and repeat them in the same manner. This strategy will make sure that you do not omit any word. But if you expect that you'll practice 10 repeat sentences and get used to this strategy, that's not going to happen. You need to at least practice 300 to 400 repeat sentences using this strategy, and then only you'll get used to it. Now you'll be thinking 300, that's too much. I've got students who have got 90 each. They put in a lot of effort. They do 100 repeat sentences at least every day, and you have to do that. It will only take you around 15 seconds to do one repeat sentence. If you're practicing 100 repeat sentences, only 25 minutes. And I believe you can put in your 25 minutes if you are looking for 7 each, 6 each, or even 8 each, because this task is giving you a lot of points in your listening and your speaking section. So write down the initials as I have done over here. I is 𝗖𝗿𝗰𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍, and if I have understood the meaning of the audio, it is important that you work as a team on this project. If this works, please go on with it. In the beginning, this is going to be slightly difficult, but if you get used to it, you are going to do wonders. Now, one more thing which I can suggest you in initial strategy, right? Some students, they will find it difficult to write the whole of the initials because audio is too fast sometimes and they cannot match the speed of the audio. What you can do is understand the meaning of the sentence and just write first 5 initials. Just write first 5 initials. Why? If you have understood the meaning of the sentence and you have got first 5 initials in front of you, you will get a very good start. And if you have got the meaning of the sentence, you will be able to finish it off as well. So write first 5 initials means first alphabet of 5 words in the sentence, and then repeat the remaining of the content by yourself. So write first 5 initials and then remember the last of the part. Or you can try a vice versa as well. Remember the first part of the audio and write the last 5 initials. But according to me, the second strategy in this part I have told you, that write first 5 initials and then remember the last of the audio, can work. It does work can surely help you, and it is working with a lot of students. It is helping a lot of students to get their score. But as I mentioned earlier, do not expect it to work within a day, please. Right? You need to practice a lot, and that is how you're going to get your score. Let's move on to strategy number 4, and this will come in handy when you did not even get a single word, or you have only got 1 or 2 words from the sentence. Now, let's suppose you are sitting for your exam. you get a repeat sentence that was very fast, or it was such an accent that you were not able to understand what the speaker was trying to say, right? So what you can do, you have two options: either to give up, do not speak anything, or at least speak something. It's always better to speak something rather than not speaking anything, because if you don't speak anything, you are not going to get anything out of it. But if you at least speak a sentence, the chances you may get something in speaking. And when you go and sit for the exam, we want to maximize our chances that we get a score, right? All right, let's have a look over here. Let's say this was your sentence. It is important that you work as a team on this project. If you cannot recall even a single word from the sentence, you need to do what you need to do. You just need to make a random sentence by yourself. Now, again, this may sound somewhat odd or weird to you, but you have two options: either to leave it or speak something. When you speak something, let's say you're saying, "It is very good outside and I'm going outside today." Now, this sentence is not relevant, but you have at least repeated two words. You may get something in content, but you are going to surely get something in your fluency and your pronunciation. So if you're not sure about your content, do not stop. Just make a sentence by yourself. Just make a sentence by yourself so that at least you get points in your fluency and your pronunciation. And yes, you won't get points in content, and that will impact your listening score. But at least we are getting something in speaking. That's what you need to do when you're not really sure about anything in the sentence. Alright, make sure whatever you speak is in a clear manner and is in a flow, and once you finish, make sure you click the next button. What I normally recommend my students to do is just say, "and I'm very happy." For example, you only remember it is important, you can say, "It is important and I'm very happy." Now, because you have something ready when you go for the exam, that yes, if something uncertain happens, I'm not able to get the content in repeat sentences, I'll make this sentence. You'll make sure that you speak in a fluent manner. So remember, you need to speak as much as you can from the repeat sentence. In case you are not able to repeat it, you need to speak as much as you can in a fluent manner and add something by yourself. If you don't have any idea of the repeat sentence, do not stay quiet, just repeat or just make a sentence by yourself so that you at least get points in your fluency and your pronunciation. So this was our strategy number 4. Now let's have a look at few of the common mistakes. Alright, as you can see on your screen over here, few of the common mistakes. Very first common mistake is too much focus on content. I have spoken this thing, I have told this thing throughout the video. Content is important, but your primary focus shouldn't be on content. It should be on content, but in case you're not able to get the content, you should divert or change your focus from your content towards your fluency, because you have very less time over here. Either you can recall your content or you can maintain fluency, and it's very difficult to recall the content if you have missed it, because you only have 5-6 seconds to give out your answer. So at least maintain your fluency in that case. Lay your first and foremost focus on maintaining your fluency. If you're not able to repeat the content, just speak it in a fluent manner. Again, focusing too much on recalling your content will impact your fluency and pronunciation, because you'll think there will be pauses, there will be hesitations, you'll be like you'll have hesitations within your speech, and that is going to impact your fluency and your pronunciation, right? Again, as I've told you in 4 strategies, you need to make sure you speak something, do not stay quiet. In case you're not able to get the content, just make a sentence by yourself. Few things which a lot of students are not sure about: how many repeat sentences do I need to make sure are perfect in order to get 19 speaking and listening. Now, whenever I've got 19 speaking and listening, as I've told you that I've got 7 times I've got 19 listening when I've taken the exam recently, I have messed up 1 to 2 repeat sentences. Now, when I tell you that I've messed up, it doesn't really mean that I did not speak a single word from the sentence. I did, but it was around 70%. So out of 10 repeat sentences, at least you need to make sure 7 to 8 repeat sentences are perfect, and 1 to 2 repeat sentences you can repeat around 70% of the content. Now let's say if I have got this sentence, right, it is important that you work as a team on this project, and I'm not really sure. What I'll do is, it is important that you work team together on this project. So at least speak something related, relevant, and in a flow. If you're not sure, focus on the meaning of the sentence and make a similar sentence, but do not stop. If you have zero idea, just make a sentence by yourself, but do not stop. So out of 10 repeat sentences, at least 7 to 8 should be perfect. 1 to 2 repeat sentences which are very lengthy. You can repeat around 50 to 70% of the content, but in a fluent and clear manner. One thing which I request all of you and I tell all my students to follow is that make sure you are confident. Make sure you do not lose your confidence over there. Don't panic over there. If you get a repeat sentence which is 16 words long, PT knows this, that no one can repeat it. If you give me a repeat sentence which is around 16 words long, I won't be able to repeat it. It's human mind which we are not really testing our short-term memory over here. We are testing our English speaking skills and listening skills, and that is what you need to do. PT knows this thing as well, that if they'll give you very lengthy, you won't be able to repeat 100% of it. Right? So in that case, just need to make sure that you speak as much as you can from the sentence and then repeat it in a clear manner and fluent manner. Again, focus on content, but you're not sure, maintain your fluency. How many points are transferred to listening section from repeat sentence? As I've told you, I've done a number of videos. You can watch only speaking test where I did Pearson official mock test. You can watch that video as well on this channel itself. You'll get around 30 to 31 points or 32 points in your listening from your repeat sentences, depending on your exam pattern. Some students get more repeat sentences, they'll have more points allocated towards their listening from repeat sentence. Some students will have less repeat sentences and the transferable points will go down, right? So these were few of the common questions, common mistakes and strategies you need to follow in order to tackle your repeat sentences. Now let's have a look at the tool which I mentioned in the starting of this video, that I'll show you a tool where you can practice repeat sentences, see how much you score, and you can improve at the same time.
Alright guys, let me show you how you have to practice on Language Academy's portal using the AI powered technology and see your instant scores and feedback. So you just need to go on languageacademy.com.au and then thereafter you need to click login. Once you are on the login page, just need to enter your details, enter your username and password. If you don't have username and password, you just need to register here with all your details. Once you are done with this is your dashboard. Here you can see your analysis, that how you are doing, what are the things you need to work on, what are the things you are doing fine. This is kind of your progress tracker. So my accuracy in repeat sentence is 68%. Aggregate of whatever I practiced so far, it should be around 80% at least. Remember this thing. Read aloud should be around 75%. Make sure whenever you practice, you aim for 75% and 80%. So you just need to go practice material, repeat sentence. Then there are three different sections. One is weekly prediction. These are the questions which there's a high chance you will get something similar from here in your exam. And then you have got exam questions which were there in the previous exams. Then you can select the ones, let's say if you find any difficulty, you can mark it and then you can practice it. You can select the complexity as well, and then you can select the ones you have practiced. And if you want to practice the new ones, you just select this and then you can practice the new ones. I'll leave it as it is. I'll practice few describe images, repeat sentences.
I'm glad you got here safely.
I'll practice few repeat sentences and I'll show you how to do it and see the scoring. Let's do next one.
The test selected material from all chapters in this course this semester.
The test selected all material from the resource, all material from this chapter. Now this is what you need to do. Right now I wasn't really 100% confident because I wasn't really prepared to take notes or initials. What I did over here is that I only remember that there were few words like test selected material from this chapter or semester, something like this. So I just made a sentence by myself, right? So you need to do the same thing as well. If you're not really sure about the sentence but you know few keywords, just make make a sentence based on few words by yourself. Let's see how much we get in this. I'm sure 100% I won't get 100% in content, but let's see if we get something or not, because you don't have to stop. See, I've got 2 on 3 in content because I missed out few content, and why pronunciation is slow because content is bit low, but yes, fluency is fine. So this is what you need to do. Even if you're not 100% sure, at least maintain your fluency so that you don't lose points over here. Normally what happens is students try to focus on getting 100% of the content right, and in order to do so they take a lot of pauses and hesitations, and as a result what happens, their fluency along with their content goes down. So yes, focus on content, but don't just focus on content, focus on clarity as well. Let's do any random one again and see how we go.
Carrots work in the same way. Long thin wires have more resistance than do short thick wires.
We often err when it comes to concentration and perception.
We often invade when it comes to misconception and conception.
The quality of our accommodation is high, but it is still affordable for students.
The quality of our accommodation is high, but it is still affordable for students. Let's see how much we get in this. So I've got almost perfect. Content is 3 on 3. Probably it wasn't, this student's word wasn't that clear, but yes, because this says bad pronunciation or missed word, I've got full in content, so this is fine. Pronunciation is full, fluency is almost fine as well. So that's how you have to do it. Let's do one more.
If you forget your passport, you need to contact the student center.
If you forgot your passport, you need to contact the student center. I think it was forget or forgot. I wasn't really 100% sure. Actually, I forgot over there. So yeah, you don't really need to think much about it. Just repeat as much as you can in a clear and fluent manner, please. Yes, student center needs to be clear. Forgot, I said, right? Forget it was. So I've got lost half a point in content, but everything else is fine. So try to repeat as much as content you can, guys. You need to make sure you repeat as much as content possible. But if you're not really sure about the content, if you're not really 100% sure what the content was, do not stop. Just make a sentence by yourself and repeat as much as you can, so that you can at least get whatever you've got in content. Along with that, you can get few points in your fluency and your pronunciation as well. That is how you have to practice on this portal. Now let's say if I find this difficult and I want to practice it again, I'll just mark it red, and once I go here, practice material, repeat sentences, I'll just select badge red, and then I'll get all the questions I've marked red, right? So that's how you have to do it. Now another thing I want to let you know is, once you go to mock test, right, make sure you take a sectional speaking mock test, and once you get the result, your scorecard is going to look something like this. The sectional mock test in here, I asked one of the students to take the mock test. You need to at least aim for 37, 38 in listening. From speaking, you should at least get 38 here, right? So how you'll get that, you need to make sure you repeat enough content. That's it, guys. Let's get back to the video.
Alright guys, that's how I ask all my students to practice repeat sentences. Very important, are going to give you a lot of points in your speaking and your listening section. Make sure you focus on content, but don't let your fluency and pronunciation go down because of your content. If you get something very difficult, speak as much as you can, but make sure you maintain your fluency. At least 50 repeat sentences every day, because this is gold. I'll say this is going to give you a lot of points in your speaking and listening. If you have any doubts related to this task or any other task, you can leave them down in the comment section and I'll try to answer all of them. If you want me to make any other video, please do let me know about that as well. I'll try to make video on that particular area, that particular section. Another thing, if you are struggling to get your desired score, you can contact us anytime. We do provide online training, and a lot of students are getting their score with a proven method and even easier techniques. The techniques, the way, the methodologies we discuss on YouTube are very different to what we discuss in our online classes. So you can consider one of our online course. You can contact us on the numbers given below, or you can visit our website. Make sure you register today on the website and practice as many as repeat sentences before you sit for the exam. If you think the video was helpful, please do consider subscribing the channel. If you think it will help you in the exam, please like the video, and if you do get your score, please do let me know. That will help me keep going on, will motivate me, and will help me make a lot more videos. That's it. I really appreciate your time, guys. Thanks for watching this video till the very end. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Be confident. Repeat sentence is nothing. Don't worry about it. Just be confident and go and smash it. All the best. I'll see you with your desired score very soon. Thank you, guys. All the very best.